Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm T with Teresa H Creates. And now that we have our December daily junk journals made, let's start prepping our ephemera. I wanted to show you some quick tips for getting ready for our December daily prompts. This will make the entire process easier. One of the challenges that I've had in the past myself is that I wasn't fully prepared. So I was having to create everything in the moment. And it's hard enough to think of how you're going to lay out your page when you don't have anything ready to pull from, any inspiration ready. So I really wanted to encourage everyone to start pulling your stuff out and getting ready now. And let me show you what I've put together, some of the ideas that I have for this. I'm going to set these aside. I pulled one of my plastic bins here. This is going to be my ephemera holder. If you don't have a plastic bin, use a shoe box, use a recycled box, use a plastic bag. I have all of these plastic zipper bags that I keep for my projects, and I'm storing my scraps in it from the December daily right now. So use a bag, but you want something so that you can start gathering all of your December daily materials in one place. So let's start off with the scraps that we created when we made our journals. That is the easiest place to start. If you used a paper collection, chances are you're going to have some ephemera at the ready. A lot of the paper collections come with sticker sheets, so that's already ready to go. I had several sets of sticker sheets. Here's some more from one of my other collections. This is easy breezy. Put that in your box or put that in your envelope and be ready to go. If you did not use a paper collection, but you do like the idea of having stickers, go to Walmart or Dollar Tree. This does not have to be expensive, and you can purchase a set of Christmas stickers. A lot of the collections will also have cut aparts, so then you've got some journaling tags. These are super, super simple to prep. Go ahead and cut them down. And have them ready to go. I know that my personal preference is that my corners are always rounded. So if I go ahead and cut these, then I can take the time to go in and round all of my corners ahead of time. Same with inking. If you plan on inking up all of your edges with some distress ink, go ahead and do your inking now. So I would recommend cutting up your ephemera, your fussy cuts, your journal cards, and inking. That will save you a lot of time when we're in the actual page building process. So I'll set these aside to finish up later. If your paper collection didn't have any cut aparts, pull from your scraps and go ahead and cut them down to this size. This is going to be a 3x4, and you can go ahead and cut down your paper scraps to 3x4, round the corners, and then you have journal cards that are ready to go. We can decorate them as we get started. If you want to add stickers or stamps or something to embellish them, you can do that then. A lot of times, paper collections will also include sheets with tags. Isn't this lovely? Now we have all of these great tags here. Again, what I would recommend is going in and cutting these down so that you have them at the ready. I'm just going to do one. My cutting is terrible, but this way you're not having to rush to do all of this. Plus it just adds to the general mess of your desk. I know it does mine. And I don't need any extra mess around my desk while I'm doing these prompts. We want these to be quick and easy so that they're easy to finish. And I always round my corners. If you want to cut out your little center circle, then you can go ahead and do that and have it ready to go. Again, if you plan on inking, I would take the time to ink your tags up now. If your collection did not come with tags, something else that we can do, and you may want to do this anyway, because I think that this is a great option. Whatever box or file folder that you used for making the base of your journal, we were left with scraps. I have all of these scraps here. Let's make tags from them. These are the perfect weight. Let me pull my cutter out. I know that this is very large. This behemoth is a workhorse. I've had it for a little over 20 years and absolutely love it. Let's go with 2.5 here. I'm going to trim this down to 2.5, and then whatever length that you would like. Let's go with a 5.5. So it's 2.5 by 5.5. This one I'm just going to trim off at the score line here. So that's going to make that about 6 inches. So perfect. Now I've got some tag bases, and we're repurposing and we're reusing everything. So even if your collection came with pre-printed tags, make some of these anyway, because even if you don't use them for this project, you might use them for another one. I am going to round my corners down here, and I'm going to make a quick tag out of this. Let's see. I'm just going to use this as a guide. Actually, you know what? I want it a little bit bigger, so I am going to just do it myself. And then we want to take our scrap and flip it over, line it up on the other side, and then make our cut here, using that as a guide, and then they should match in theory, right? So that's an easy way to make a tag. I also have these tag topper punches, and I like using those. So I'm going to go ahead. The largest one I have is 2.5 inches. So it goes 1.5, 2.5, and 2 inches. Go ahead and round my corners. And I have tags. So that's an easy, simple way to use your scraps and to have tags. And again, even if you have pre-made tags like this, I would recommend doing this because these are handy to have in your stash for other projects, especially since they're nice and blank. You may also have tag dies. I have a variety of tag dies. So you could take your paper scraps and make tags out of your paper scraps. Perfect, right? Tags are simple. The hardest thing, and the one that gets me every time, is going to be the little reinforcers. If you have the printed set, they already give you the reinforcer. So here's a couple of ideas for reinforcers. I have a little reinforcer die. Now I could take some of my coordinating paper scrap and run this through my die cut machine about 100 times and get enough reinforcers ready to go for this project. I would recommend going ahead and cutting your reinforcers so that they're there, because this is always a pain to me when I have to take the time to cut those during the project. So if we do it ahead of time and get a bunch of reinforcers ready to go, then it's perfect. I'm going to show you another option. While you're at the dollar store looking at ephemera or looking at stickers, you could also pick up reinforcers. These are just plain generic reinforcers and you can find them at the office supply store. I believe the dollar store also has them. Have these set aside and ready to go. You can use your distress ink to ink these up. So if you want to go ahead and ink them up and get them ready. You can also take some of your stamps and maybe stamp over them. It'll give them a little bit of an image or an impression on them. But that's a great option for reinforcers as well. If you don't want to pick up reinforcers, you need to really save your money, because I get it, it's the holidays and you don't want to buy reinforcers, you don't have a die, then here is another option. Use the tools that you have. I have this little stamp set. It's got this nice little circle stamp here. So I am going to put it on this acrylic block, and we'll just stamp our reinforcer on. Now I've just got to get it lined up with the hole. And there we go. Reinforcer. Done. We can do that on both sides. It's good to go. Okay, say you don't have one of these guys. Not a problem. Take something with a small round bottom. Maybe one of your foam brush tips, or this right here, I think, is probably the perfect size. So I have all of these blender brushes, and I can use the bottom of it, same concept. The big thing for me is that I'm going to have to line it up almost perfect, and I never do that, so it's probably going to be off, but that's fine because it adds to the overall character of the project, right? We're not looking for perfection, we're looking for handmade, and more than likely this project is for you anyway. So there we go, quick and easy. Reinforcers. Let me show you those up close. Been having issues with my camera focusing lately, so got to put the hand behind. All right, so those are some easy options for reinforcers and getting your tags ready to go. How simple is that? And then again, if you're going to ink up, go ahead and ink them up. Let me put these in my batch along with my reinforcers. And hey, maybe you've got all of these items and you want to just do a mix. Then I encourage you to do that as well. Use the stuff that you have. All right, also speaking of ephemera, a lot of times these collection kits come with lots of ephemera. So these are the coordinating ephemera kits for the paper collections I use to make my junk journals. So then I have tons of ephemera at the ready. So this is perfect. I'm going to add these. I don't know which journal is mine yet. I'm doing the giveaway, so I don't know which one the winner is going to select, but as soon as they do, then I'll know which one I am prepping for specifically. All right, so something else that I would encourage you to do is look at your junk mail. Everything that's being sent to you right now is going to be very festive, so start saving this. Look at these gifts and presents here. These are perfect for you to cut out and use as ephemera bits, so start saving these. Look at this from the post office. This stamp, adorable. I want this stamp. I'm going to cut this out. We're going to use it on something. I'm adding that to my ephemera. So go ahead and cut them out, get them ready. My daughter received this. It was an invitation for a Christmas party. And look at how adorable these little cups are. I'm like, I could totally use like this border, cover this up. This is perfect. I'm going to save that as well. I'd like to encourage you to go through your stamps. Go through your stamp collection. Go ahead and pull out not every stamp that you have, but look and see what you've got. You want to make yourself familiar with what you have. A lot of us don't Christmas craft year round. I might do some in July, and then most of it is saved for the months of November and December. So I'm only seeing these stamps a couple of times out of the year. So go through your stamps and really familiarize yourself with what you have so that then you'll be able to recall and reach for stuff much easier when we're actually crafting. I also went through my ephemera. If you don't have tons of leftover ephemera or collections, that is fine. You don't need to have that. But if you do, like I have the iris cases, the 12 by 12, I have about 24 full of ephemera and Christmas paper. I know I have a problem. So I am someone who wants to go through my ephemera and my collections and pull out anything that I think might coordinate. I found all of these. It's a little tag, but it's a tag with a pocket. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. It's already got the little ribbon attached, so it's perfect. I went through my stash that isn't Christmas related, and I pulled out some pockets and envelopes that I thought I might be able to use. On my pages, I can decorate them up at the time that we're ready to go, or you can decorate them ahead of time, and then you've got some stuff pre-made. Don't forget your leftover fabric strips. I have these great leftover strips that I used for the spine. They would actually make perfect ribbons for your tags. If you have a lot of leftover fabric or you have a stash of fabric scraps or ribbon scraps or Christmas ribbon, go ahead and pull that out and put it aside. If you wanted to go ahead and decorate your tags, start running those fabric bits through your tags, and then they're just even closer to being ready for our December daily. I also pulled out a few of my Christmas themed washies. So I'm going to set these up here. So they're all part of my collection. I'm looking at this. So every time I sit down to craft in my December daily, I'm going to use this as my go-to bin. I'm going to keep all of my remnants and my scraps in here. I'm going to keep my ephemera, my stickers and my tags and my journaling cards, everything that I might use in my book, I'm going to keep here. Something else to think about with your December daily is that we are going to be numbering these pages. So every page is going to represent a day in December, and we are going to add numbers to all of these pages. If you want to get ahead of the game and go ahead and number your pages, feel free to do that. I'm going to do mine at the time of decorating because I don't know what I'm going to put on that page and I don't want to inadvertently cover my number. So I'm not going to prep ahead of time as far as numbering pages goes. If you would like to, go ahead and do that. What I am going to prep though is my numbers. I have some number dies and I pulled out some of my gold scrap and I went ahead and cut out all of the numbers that I am going to need in this gold. I also cut out a 2025. This is going to be 1 through 31 and 2025. I am afraid that I am going to lose these, so I'm going to put these in one of these little envelopes here for safekeeping, because that took a lot of time and effort, and I really don't want to lose all of those die cut numbers. So again, you don't want to have to pull your paper and your numbers out every day in December and die cut numbers. It's that type of thing that I think kind of wears you down and starts getting a little bit ho-hum and will keep you from finishing your journal. I think having your numbers prepped ahead of time will really help save time, and you can work through your pages quicker. So you're not spending an entire day working on your spread. All right, another option. You don't have die cut numbers. Don't worry about it. Not a problem. Go through your paper collections and check. A lot of them will have pages with numbers on them. A lot of your paper collections, though, are only going to have 1 through 25, so you'll have to make up the difference, 26 through 31. But a lot of them do have numbers. So I would go through and check to see if maybe you have some coordinating numbers or something that will coordinate with your journal, and you can use those. They're ready to go. Again, if you do find them, go ahead and cut them out, ink up the edges, get them ready to go. You can also use stamps. I have a set of stamps that has numbers on them. I can go ahead and stamp the days on some of my paper scraps, cut them out, and have them ready to go. Or I can wait until the day of my project, and once it's complete, I can stamp the day somewhere on my project. Either way you want to go, I think is really cute, but either way, have a plan for your numbers. All right, I hope that I have given you lots of ideas for prepping for your December daily junk journal projects. We're going to have a new prompt every day. Some of you may also be recording your day's events along with incorporating the prompt theme into your page. So this will help get you ready. Again, washi, fabric bits, your numbers. Go through your ephemera and find stuff that'll coordinate. Check your junk mail. Check for coordinating ephemera bits. Go ahead and make your tags. Cut out and ink up all of your journal cards. Get some stickers, some inexpensive Christmas stickers. The dollar store or Walmart might also have some inexpensive Christmas stamp sets. This does not have to be an expensive project at all. It can be very inexpensive. You can do this on a budget. Hopefully I've given you a wide variety of ideas. All right, that's all I have for today. I hope everyone's excited to get started on the December Daily. I know that I am. The next video will be on Saturday, the 29th. We'll decorate our opening page, possibly our cover, and we'll choose our first prompt. So then we know what we're working on in the next video starting in December. In addition to decorating our intro page, I'll also give you some ideas of things to save and collect if you plan on doing the daily documenting of your December. All right, let me know what you think. Let me know if I missed anything. If you have some ideas, put them down in the comment section, share with others. If you've already made your December daily journal, please post it in the community tab. I'd love to see what you guys have done, what you're using for your December daily journal. Thanks for spending some time with me, and until next time, bye.